Hi, I'm Bud. Welcome to Kimba's Kingdom, the home of everything Kimba the White Lion. On this channel, I'm hoping to connect with fellow Kimba fans like you. So if there's something you'd like to see more of, or less of, let me know in the comments. I want to make the best videos I can for you guys. Hey fellow animals, the Q&A video is here. So the end of the year is finally upon us, and what a year it's been. This community's grown so much since I first launched the channel, and it's thanks to your support. It's been awesome meeting so many like-minded Kimba fans, and I hope we'll continue to reach new heights together as we take on the new year. But enough of that sappy stuff, onto your questions. Thank you so much for all the awesome questions you guys sent in. I think I answered all of them in this video, but if I didn't see yours, please let me know in the comments and I'll pin your question and answer it there. First up, Atomic Fox 64 asks, do you like other Tezuka anime and manga besides Kimba? Awesome question. I have to admit, I haven't seen much of Tezuka's work. There's simply so much awesome sounding stuff that I don't really know where to start. Plus, between uni work and YouTube, I haven't really had time to binge watch much this past year. But that said, I have seen both the Unico animated movies and the Unico TV pilot, and I thought they were all absolutely awesome. Unico is such an adorable character, and I love the super unique and quirky vaporwave meets fairy tale aesthetic. I've never seen anything like it, and it has a really cool feel to it. It's also pretty emotional and sad at times as well. I definitely recommend watching Unico if you haven't already. Aside from that, I've also seen a few of Tezuka's experimental short films, which I also really loved. Following on from Atomic Fox's question, Tyler Voigt Pope, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, asks, aside from Kimba the White Lion, what would you say is your favourite anime? Thanks for another great question. There's lots of good anime out there, but I think I'd have to say Violet Evergarden. Although the main protagonist doesn't have autism, as someone on the autism spectrum, I could deeply relate to her struggle of trying to communicate and verbalise her emotions in a way that made sense to other people, and also her struggle of trying to fit into the very metaphorical and imprecise communication style of neurotypical society, when her first instinct is to simply be direct and say exactly what she means. I also find it very inspiring that she's able to use her own wounds and heightened emotional sensitivity in a positive way to heal and comfort others through her writing, and I hope I can live up to that example in a way in my own life. Next up, Chesmix Chezira asks, if Kimba were another animal, what do you think he would be, and how would you tweak the story given the change? This is an awesome question as well. Chezira mentioned they would like Kimba to be a raven or a crow, which I think is an awesome idea, because ravens and crows are incredibly smart and emotional creatures with colourful personalities, not to mention the vital role they play in keeping our world running, and they deserve way more positive portrayal in media. For me personally, I think the kind of animal Kimba might be if he weren't a lion would be an African wild dog. Just like lions, wild dogs are naturally group animals with complex social relationships, so it makes sense that a leader like Kimba would be a member of such a social species. Wild dogs are also powerful and beautiful just like lions. They're a similarly royal and regal animal. But the thing I think is most compelling about the idea of Kimba being a wild dog is that it really emphasises the central conflict of Kimba as a character. He believes in peace between all animals, yet his species needs to hunt to survive. This would be even more of a pressing issue for Kimba as a wild dog, because wild dogs are famously some of the most merciless and terrifying hunters in the world. As their main strategy is endurance rather than surprise, their hunts aren't over quickly like a lion's are. They're a long and brutal ordeal. Given this, it would be all the more impressive if Kimba were able to find a way to convince creatures as hardened and ferocious as wild dogs to make peace and unite with their fellow animals. It would make Kimba's already difficult quest to build a peaceful utopia for the animals almost impossibly hard. Yet when he finally achieves it, it would make it all the more satisfying and all the more striking. I think it would add an extra level of weight to Kimba's story and make it hit that much harder. Last but certainly not least, Randa Panda asks, What's the biggest lesson you've learned as a content creator? I've certainly learned a lot as a content creator. From technical stuff like how errors can happen with Premiere Elements or the YouTube Studio Uploader, and I have to make sure to check things before I upload them, to learning about writing, like how to motivate myself to keep writing even when life gets pretty hectic. But I think if I had to pick just one thing, it'd be learning how to build a community and keep it together. Though I'd say that's not something I've learned so much as something I'm still learning. I still have a long way to go with this. Throughout the process of building this channel and helping to build the associated Discord and Facebook groups, there's inevitably been conflict. People have different values, and for the most part you've all done an amazing job of respecting each other's differences and acting in good faith and treating each other with kindness. But like in any community, there have been 1 or 2 times where people have just clashed or said hurtful things to each other, and it's been a steep learning curve trying to figure out how to deal with that. My natural instinct is a bit like Kimba's. I tend to give everyone second and third and fourth chances, and often that's a good thing, but I've also had to learn the hard lesson that sometimes that's not actually the appropriate thing to do. Sometimes the hurt being caused to others by a situation is too much to justify repeated attempts at second chances and reconciliation, and you just have to be firm, step in and stick to your decision. And that's been really difficult for me, especially when those involved are close friends of mine. But thankfully I've had the guidance of my awesome staff team on Discord and Facebook, who have helped guide me as I continue to learn and figure that out. So that wraps up this year's Q&A video. If you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more Q&A videos like this, let me know in the comments and I can make one next year as well. Maybe we can make it into a bit of a yearly tradition on the channel. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a happy holiday season and an awesome new year. Thank you so much for everything you've done for this channel and community this year. I can't thank you all enough. I'll have one more video coming out this year, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. And after that, I'll see you next year. I'm working hard on making some great new videos for next year, so fingers crossed you find those enjoyable. And fingers crossed I don't get nuked by copper. But for now, happy holidays and thanks so much for watching.